Hello fans, and welcome into Dave Travis Court. I'm Joe Brennan alongside William McDermott. Tonight we're going to be calling the St. Christopher's and Trinity Titans basketball game. Now William, this has been a rough start of the season for the Saints, wouldn't you say the least?
Yeah, absolutely. The Saints are coming in this game 3-8, coming off a fourth place finish in the Tri-City tournament last weekend, looking to redeem themselves here.
The Saints are off to a season record of 3-8. Really struggling on the year and are facing a tough opponent in the Titans. This is really a David and Goliath scenario. As we see, the home court might be a huge advantage tonight for the Titans with their student section rocking. However, the player to watch tonight is number 22, Henry Coleman, the junior, has offers from schools such as Kansas, Ohio State, Georgetown, UVA, and more. He will be the player to watch for tonight. Most likely will be guarded by number 13, Walker Wallace, or 25, Gabe Jimerson. As the tip is won by the Saints, and Arnold Henderson dribbles it up the court. Henderson looks for a man, finds Green, who looks baseline, swings it up and is tipped out of bounds. Kavanis was looking for the pass underneath to Jimerson there.
It's like Green will be inbounding.
Green looks for Wallace on the curl, but it's not there, so he throws it off Coleman. Interesting strategy. Trying to avoid the 5-second violation. Wallace to inbound this time. Looks for a man and throws an outlet to Henderson.
Yeah, really good defense by the Titans on 2 inbound plays.
Henderson takes it back out and looks to set up in his own offense. Dribbles it to half court. Green pops up to the high baseline, high post, and decides to pull up. And Green for 3 with an arrow towards the crowd. You love to see the Saints off to a hot shooting.
And Nigel Green last year struggled with his shooting. This year he's become one of his strengths. Coleman inside, scrambling for the ball. Loses it a couple times. Nice shot contest from Walker Wallace and rebound to Kavanis.
Kavanis will dribble it up the court and look for his man. Attempted steal, but it's no good. Ball is swung around to Wallace, who then sets it back up with Kavanis, who will find his captain in Arnold Henderson, who makes a move, pulls up from the free throw line, and it's in. Another 2 for the Saints.
Saints have struggled shooting of late, so it's good tonight to see so far 2 for 2.
The other night against Petersburg, the Saints scored only a mere 3 points in the first quarter, but then came out with 17 against Hopewell in the consolation bracket, as number 44 from the Titans gets the baby hook to go. The Saints have really struggled getting it going, but then in Hopewell they showed a lot of signs of promise. However, after that hot first quarter, they really slowed down and ended up with a 17-point loss. So tonight, the main key for the Saints is coming out of the gates hot, but then staying hot. William, how do you think they can do that?
Yeah, I think it's just a confidence thing and just never letting up. I think after the first quarter, they were up 17-9, playing really good defense, really good ball all around. But I think they sort of started to coast in the second quarter, and then it got away from them.
Now, the laziness is something that you bring up that has kind of been a problem for the Saints team, looking lackadaisical. Would you say?
Yeah, I mean, Saints team is really young, had some maturity problems, so.
I'd say the biggest issue when it comes to that laziness is Kavanis spins, and it's in. Great move by number 22, Kavanis, the freshman. As we were saying, though, is the sloppy turnovers. A lot of times, Saints go in with a poor mentality as a 3 goes up from the Titans, and it's no good, but is rebounded by Coleman, who fights for it, and then is fouled. Is the turnovers and also early shots into the shot clock and forced ones that are too contested.
I mean, that's another one right there that, I mean, although it was a long rebound, Saints would absolutely, I mean, critical to get that rebound. I know Henry Coleman's the biggest guy on the court.
I think it was Green that went out for the fast break rather than chasing down the shot, which is just a lack of discipline, as 44 is hit and the ball is poked out.
It's good defense there from Jimerson to knock it away.
Jimerson and Wallace are going to have their work cut out for them. These 2 bigs for the Titans are probably 2 of their key players. Those 2 and Procise from the Titans. As the ball is thrown inside as Henderson guards, Green runs out to contest And the ball is short from the rim. Henderson comes down with a rebound. Henderson finds Green, who then looks to the post to find Jimerson, but swings it out to Wallace, who then finds Henderson.
Henderson's got to get his stroke going this game. The Saints want to win this game. He struggled so far this season. There's another turnover in Jimerson.
And a lack of hustle to get back on defense as Kavanis tries to set up for a charge, but there's no call. That's a lot of contact. And as Green calls a timeout to secure possession of the basketball.
Good start so far for the Saints. Trinity has not shot the ball very well. On the flip side, Saints have.
Welcome back. Now we're going to see the Saints inbound the ball with a full court press. This is something that the Saints have faced and struggled with against Hopewell, as we see Wallace immediately turn it over. He's claiming that the ball was tipped.
Yeah, it looked like that to me. It was clearly tipped. I'm not quite sure.
The ball goes right back to the Saints.
Yeah,
see Wallace inbound.
Ref obviously didn't see, but his counterpart helped him out.
Henderson dribbles it up the court, tries to make a man miss, and the ball loses control as he hustles on the sideline to fight for it. And we'll see a jump ball that will go to the Titans. Titans look to set up in their offense. Ball swung around to the top. Number 44 looks to shoot it. It rims out as they follow with the offensive rebound, and it's up and in. 4-7. Saints.
Two Saints players going for the board there. No one could corral it.
Wallace is open on the outside, but decides to swing it around to Green, who then loses control of the ball, and we see yet another turnover.
Yeah, Trinity's being aggressive out of the timeout on defense.
And Coleman is wide open underneath the rim and hammers it down. Henderson looks for help. Doesn't seem to find it. Will take it up himself. Gives his man a spin. He's triple teamed. Finds Kovanis, who kicks it out to Wallace, who sets up for three. Hits the side of the rim. No good. 44 to the Titans is fouled hard, as Wallace gives him a little high five, and he will head to the free throw line.
Yeah, for 2 shots.
This is a Saints team that looks to be losing a little bit of control. Momentum is swinging towards the Titans at the moment. As the first one flanks out. Here we'll see 3 substitutions for the Saints. The junior number 23, Riley Wood, number 5, Gil Williamson, and the freshman number 3, Andre Green. Andre Green is a very promising athlete on this team. He's a great football player, great basketball player, and claims that tonight he will drop 50 points. He is very, very confident coming into tonight's game.
And coming off the bench too, that'd be quite the feat, especially in high school.
It'd be spectacular.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really looking forward to see if he can follow through with this claim, as Henderson is doubled in the corner, and then Wood secures it and throws it right out of bounds. That is the Saints' 4th turnover in 5 minutes.
I mean, Saints had struggled in the Tri-City tournament as well as the Time Smash Invitational with the press, and this half-court press that Trinity's bringing, once they bring the ball up, basically Henderson just getting triple teamed is really just messing them up.
44 looks with a nice drop step, but Williamson contests, followed by Coleman, who is fouled. We haven't really talked enough about Coleman tonight. Coleman is a star and probably one of the best players in the prep league.
Yeah, and he stepped up big time this season after the departure of Armando Baycott. to IMG Academy in Florida. He's basically the sole star player of this team. In the years past, the Trinity Titans, of course, state champions in 2017, had players like Jason Wade, Tink Boyd, as well as Armando, but it's now his chance.
And those are 3 to-be or already college athletes. You have Tink Boyd at Virginia Tech playing wide receiver. You have Jason Wade as a guard on Old Dominion. And Armando Baycott is to be a player on the UNC Tar Heels next year, committing this year. He had many of offers from any university he wanted to go to: Duke, UNC, Virginia Tech. But this Trinity Titans team has a history of being dominant. Last year, I believe they were in the top 20 in the nation.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Of course, Trinity just took their first lead of the game, 8-7. Saints haven't scored since the 5-minute mark after the hot start. Saints I don't think they've even gotten a shot up.
One thing to acknowledge, though, is that the Saints have been low on depth this season, losing 2 of their key players. They lost senior Will Hayes, and they've lost freshman KP Pulley recently in the Tri-City tournament with a broken kneecap and a torn patella tendon.
Yeah, that's just a devastating injury. He was a really good three-point shooter.
He was probably the best shooter on this team, as Henderson shoots up his own 3 and hits it off the back iron. Andre Green comes down with a rebound, swings it out to Williamson, who then passes it up to Henderson. Henderson with the ball looks to set up in his own offense. A screen comes from Wood, who swings it out to Green. The Saints team can be very patient, but can also be a little quick to shoot it. And another turnover. That's their 5th one on the night. A nice outlet pass to number 3, who then finishes with the left hand. And that Saints lead is gone.
Saints got it where they wanted in the middle of the zone, but Jimerson trying to make the extra pass to Williamson on the baseline. Couldn't get over the height of Trinity. I'd like to see Jimerson take that jump shot. Here's Drake Green driving floater. No good.
Jimerson goes right back and then turns it over for the 6th time tonight. And Trinity with another 2. A quick 10-0 run by Trinity here puts the Saints in a 5-point deficit. Wood swings it around, finds Green, who takes it away from the steal. Williamson looks out, and another turnover. Their 7th of the quarter. Number 4 there tried to thread the needle, but it went out of bounds, but they will retain possession of the ball. Here we see the starters coming back in. Excuse me, we see Kavanis, Wallace, and Green checking back in. Trinity with the ball up top, looking for some offense. Trinity has really been looking to get inside the paint today, as we see Coleman with a nice pump fake and a drive. Almost gets the roll, and the Hudson line for 2.
Late whistle there from the official.
Coleman knocks down the first one, continuing their run to 11-0. We talked about the Saints coming in hot, but then getting cold, and it looks like they're on that point right now, William.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. This Trinity zone has really crushed all the momentum the Saints had and swinged it in the other direction.
Coleman lines up for his 2nd free throw, and it's short, rebounded by Wallace. He looks to push the tempo with Kavanis, who then decides to slow it down.
Pretty critical possession here, down 6.
Green slips and turns it over. Their 8th of the night. As Kavanis is called for a blocking foul. Interesting. I thought his feet were set there, but I don't know.
Yeah, so did I.
But we'll see the Titans with 2 more free throws. They've been getting to the line consistently tonight.
First shot is made.
Now we're going to see Burke Smith line up for his second free throw. Smith and Coleman are such a dominant front court. You've seen him with his post moves, and you've seen Coleman with his driving abilities. It's really a dominant paint. And now we see them come up with a 1-3-1 zone. As Green comes in the corner, trying to not get, oh, and it's fouled. Interesting call there.
I mean, normally for a basketball team, you see once they get that trap in the corner, you see other Saints players just flee to the ball trying to get open and sort of get an outlet pass, but everybody just stood still.
Green did not get a lot of help there.
Yeah.
It looks a little phased by the Trinity sideline.
Yeah, they're cramming crazies up down there.
Green calls for it back. Spots up for three. And an air ball. And he'll hear that one from the crowd. Trinity pushes it up. Smith gets the ball, goes right up with it, but it's no good. A fight for the ball down low. We'll go with a jump. Second one of the game. It'll be the Saints basketball. .43 seconds left in the quarter, but the Saints have yet to score in the past 4 minutes. Struggling a lot on the offensive side and the defensive side. It's been a tough game so far.
I mean, started off hot, but as of late, just haven't been able, since the 5-minute mark, Saints have not
Green
scored.
Over the corner. It's intercepted.
It's another turnover.
I believe that's the 9th of the night.
All in one quarter.
Smith looks for something, finds a cutter, but he loses the handle of it off of Saints. Interesting. It looked like it was off his leg there.
Yeah, to me it did, but official was down there, so more subs coming into the game.
We'll see Coleman check back in. Nice drive by the Titans, and it's up and in with a finger roll.
Just drove right by Trent Hendrick. I'd like to see Hendrick step out there and play some defense, but followed his man rather than helping.
Henderson man hedges him, dares him to go left, and he does. Kicks it out to Kavanis, open for three, and he splashes it in. Gives the fan a look, and the Saints finally score for the first time in 4 minutes. Maybe that'll ignite a little bit of offense, hopefully going into the second quarter. But at the end of the first, the score is Titans 17, Saints 10. We'll be right back after a short break. We welcome you back. We apologize for the technical difficulties. As we'll see Hendrick with another shot. And it's in. Tack on one more for the Saints. So now the Saints see themselves in a 10-point deficit, down by 10 going into the second quarter. William, what are you thinking they need to do to get their offense going?
I think they definitely need to limit the turnovers. Trinity switch back over to a man-to-man defense. As Burke Smith steps out of bounds. Be a turnover for Trinity there, but as I was saying, I think Saints need to limit the turnovers. They're making their shots, shooting a good shooting percentage. They just haven't taken that many.
Henderson swings it around to Kovanis, who squares up his man and then swings it back out around the perimeter. Wood, the lefty, with the move, finds Kovanis, drives back baseline, looks for something, finds Jimerson in the corner, who then drives it in on Coleman and is fouled.
Clear foul there. Headed to the line for two.
Jimerson at the line, knocks down his first. The Saints' free throw shooting has been something that they've been very consistent with this season.
Yeah, Saints, of course, already played Trinity once in the Times Dispatch Invitational. Only lost that game by 7. Saints were in it at the end. But as you were just saying, Saints shot, I believe, 100% free throw percentage that game, as jinxed it there as Jefferson misses.
It's been one of their very few bright spots in this offense full of woes this year. We'll see Coleman square up his man, give him a couple bump fakes, shoot it up, and drill it for three.
Coleman struggled with shooting this season overall. But if at 6'6", if he can develop that, be a great prospect moving forward, even for the NBA.
Pick and roll there looked a little bit like Harden's last night, as Henderson knocks down a three. We'll see the Titans bring it up as the Saints try to ignite their offense.
John, I'm guessing you saw James Harden's shot over the Golden State Warriors.
It was fantastic as Henderson was down with the ball. Went to overtime, won by 1 point. Spectacular.
Yeah, these last 10 or 12 games, I think James Harden has established himself as an MVP candidate. As here's a drive after the turnover.
Coleman puts it up. Tack on another deuce for the Titans. Now, William, that's something I'm not a big fan of, saying that someone's an MVP candidate after they have a good week. I mean, you look at Giannis Antetokounmpo. At the beginning of the season, he was on fire. Same thing was last season.
Absolutely, but
Henderson squares up for another three and an air ball. He's been on pure fire the past week, averaging roughly 40 points per game. It's been absurd.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Good steal there from Trent Hendrick.
But when you look at the true MVP candidates, Henderson knocks in the layup. It's mainly team success, a narrative, and statistics. You need those three factors in order to even contend. And it's tough with Harden because the team hasn't been very successful this year.
Yeah, of course, with Chris Paul's injury, sort of lack of identity at the point guard spot. It's a foul there on Trent Hendrick. He headed to the line.
Because most of the time, the MVP candidate, except for a few exceptions like Russell Westbrook, you see the best player on the best team win the MVP. This year, you could consider guys like Giannis Antetokounmpo, who has brought in the Bucks out of nowhere. You could consider guys like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James is even one that's brought that Lakers team back to life. Anthony Davis would be one, but he hasn't had a lot of team success. But if you look for guys with that narrative, and you look for guys with the statistics, if you have that team success, it puts you over the top.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think the media is also another big portion of it. His drive from Jimerson is good after the nice assist from Dre Green.
The media can completely blow someone out of proportion and overhype them a lot. You see that with Luka Doncic.
Yeah, he came in second for forwards in the All-Star voting for the West, which I think is completely absurd. Although he's, of course, having a magnificent season, I don't think he deserves to be an All-Star.
I mean, I'm not even sure, as Hendrick knocks into reverse, if he deserves to be Rookie of the Year at this point.
Really?
I personally think DeAndre Ayton has been spectacular this season. He's averaging 16 points. I think it's 7 rebounds per game on a Suns team that is terrible, as Coleman spots up for a 3 and is short. But I think it'll be interesting to see how the season shakes out. As Henderson is fouled up on his shot. As Henderson knocks in his free throw.
And back on that note, Joe, I think if you look over at the overall structure of the East and the West last season compared to this season, I personally think that East has become much more talented overall. The Bucks, of course, in first place right now with the best record in the NBA, followed by the Raptors. And the Celtics, of course, rising. Had a sort of struggling start of the season, but started to turn it on. Gordon Hayward playing a lot better.
I mean, the top of the East is...
Pacers also.
The top of the East is almost as good as the top of the West. It's pretty close. If you look at the top 8 teams, however, the West is so much deeper. I mean, every single team in that Western Conference could make the playoffs, except for maybe the Phoenix Suns. But, I mean, if you look at those teams, it's so deep. There are teams like the Timberwolves, the Pelicans, the Jazz that won't even make the playoffs, most likely. As Jimerson spots up for 3 and the air ball. Titans come down with a board. Coleman looks up to Smith. Yams it in.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Eastern Conference standings, last place teams, which I believe are Detroit Pistons and the Charlotte Hornets battling it out, both of them have a record 500 or lower. And compared to the West, most teams are above 500 by a couple games. Henderson driving, floater short, followed his shot, puts it back up. Nice job from Arnold Henderson. Come to lead to 5, excuse me.
Titans look to slow things down, get up in their offense. Smith looks to post up Green, who gets the block. Gets his own board, swings it out. Green with a drive, but it's no good. Looks like there's a foul on the floor.
It'll be on Smith. That's, I believe, his 3rd foul already. Saints have crawled back into this game.
Henderson underneath, puts it up and in. The Saints making a little comeback here before the half. I like it. Titans looking to still stay aggressive. Arnold Henderson with the steal, looks to push it up, a 2-on-1, a 3-on-1. Settles for a floater, it's no good. Green looks to find the offensive glass, kicks it out to Nigel Green, who then finds Gil Williamson underneath, kicks it out to Henderson. Henderson spots up for 3. It's no good. The Titans advance the ball, finds Coleman in transition, and he's fouled.
Opportunity to tie the game there.
We'll see Coleman at the line, see if he can extend this 3-point lead for the Titans. Coleman clanks the first one and puts up another one. I've never seen that before, William. Is that allowed?
I don't think so, as the official's going to talk to him about it.
I think they shouldn't give him the second one. I mean, like, that seems unfair. But we'll continue play. He shoots the second one and knocks it down. Henderson will dribble it up and look to hold for the last shot. This is an important possession, William. See if we can hold it to a one-possession game before we go into half. And Henderson turns it over. The Saints have done well on their turnovers since the start of the second half. I think they had like one or two maybe.
Yeah, and I mean, no discredit to the Saints, but Trinity also switched over from that zone to man. I expect in the third quarter them to go back to that zone and keep bringing the aggression as they were late in the first quarter.
But, I mean, if you look at it, they were in a 12-point deficit and then came back to 4 point. They were down by 3 a minute ago, but now in a 4-point deficit because they're limiting those turnovers. As Trinity spots up for 3, it's no good for the half.
So Saints crawl back into the game, only down 4, 32-28. Your halftime score. We'll be back right before the start of the second half for a little recap and keys to the second half.
Welcome back, fans. We are back at Dale Travis Court to see the second half of the Saints-Titans game. William, Saints really struggled in the first quarter. They had 10 turnovers in the first quarter. Started off slow, but were able to pick it back up in the second.
I mean, yeah, just limiting the turnovers overall in the second quarter really helped out. I mean, having 10 in one quarter is just completely terrible, and I think the limiting of the turnovers allowed more opportunities for shots, as the Saints are shooting the ball pretty well here early on.
Saints only had 1 turnover in the second quarter, and they were able to crawl back into this game. They shot at 47.6% in the first half total, which is spectacular from the floor as Trinity puts up a 3 and drills it. However, at the same time, Trinity shot at a 48% clip, showing that the Saints are struggling a little bit on the defensive side of things. We'll see if they can correct it. Nigel Green with the drive, a little bit of contact with no call. Smith comes down with a block.
Yeah, Henry Coleman gambled there for the steal. Nigel Green was able to get by him. I'm surprised by the no call there. A lot of contact.
Trinity kicks it out to Smith, who has 7 in the first, and makes it 10 with a 3.
So 2 threes in a row for Trinity. Going to make it 10-point game.
Quick start to this second half for the Titans as Green looks to post up Coleman, then swings it out. Henderson in the corner, drives, shoots, no good. He was looking for a call there, couldn't get it. Coleman drives in right into the paint. They'll call a blocking foul on number 22, Kovanis. Coleman played very well in that first half. He had 13 points and shot 4 for 7.
Yeah, Coleman, of course, the star player for the Titans.
As he puts up a free throw and makes it 14, extending this Trinity lead to an 11-point game. Titans are really coming out here hot, trying to close out the Saints early, as they're now up by 12. Henderson trying to see if he can get the Saints back in this one. Dribbles it up the floor. Looks for Hendrick, finds him on the high elbow, swings it right down to Gabe Jimerson with his 4th turnover on the night, then swings it around. Titans for 3. It's good. Another 3 from the Titans. Titans have started off with 3 threes and 2 free throws. Jones, infuriated by this slow start from the Saints, calls a timeout. We'll be back after this short break. Wallace inbounds it to Henderson, who tries to slow things down in the half-court set. Wallace finds Jimerson underneath, and he puts it in for 2. The Saints' first points of the half as Coleman sets up for 3 and drills it, another 3. Saints with no perimeter defense to start off this half, as the Titans have gone 4 for 4 on their 3-point attempts. If you're the Saints here, McDermott, what are you going to be doing? It's Coleman with a steal.
I mean, I think you just got to bring the defense out so there's a turnover.
Gabe is wide open underneath the rim. He finishes with the and one. Fans are not happy with that call, but he was hit underneath the hoop. We'll see Gabe Jimerson at the line. See if he can knock it in and convert the and one. That's no good. 1 for 3 on the night from the line for Jimerson. Trinity looks to slow things down for the first time tonight. They've been coming out hot and fast. Titans shoot from the line, and it's good. Yet to miss a single shot, either from the line or from the field. It's been a scorching hot half as the Saints turn it over again. 13th on the night.
Yeah, I mean, just a lot of careless turnovers here. Saints struggled with that in the first quarter and now struggling with it again in the third.
Coleman sizes up Wallace, swings it around to Smith. Green with the aggressive defense. And another 3 for the Titans, but it's no good. The first missed shot from the Titans in this half. Henderson dribbles it up, finds Williamson in the corner. He kicks it out to Henderson, sets him a screen. And Henderson looks to attack this mismatch. Wallace at the top of the key, finds his man, Williamson. He looks stuck, but finds Green underneath. With a lot of contact, no call. Kovanis with the offensive board, no good. Tipped up in the air, Wallace comes down with it, and he's fouled. He'll go up for 2.
Yeah, just good effort all around there from the Saints.
Love to see the hustle
fighting
there.
for the ball, yep.
Wallace at the line. Knocks down the first one. In the first half, the Saints shot from the free throw line at 83%, which is a very good team percentage. You'd like to see that from the Saints. It's good to capitalize on those opportunities. As we see Wallace knock in his second. Smith with the ball, passes it. Kicks it around. Titans attack the rim. It's no good off the glass. Henderson dribbles it up, finds Wallace, throws it to Williamson underneath, but it's overthrown right to the Titans for their 14th turnover of the night. Coleman with a spin. Foul will be called on the floor.
It was a good look from Wallace and good ball all around, but it just led him too much and threw it right over his head. And Titans looking to capitalize off the turnover.
We now see the Saints facing a 14-point deficit after being down just 4 going into the half as the Titans knock down another 3. Coach Jones is irate.
Yeah, Saints have really struggled this quarter, now down 17. At the half, it was a 4-point lead for the Titans.
Titans lead 51-34 going into Saints dribble it up the floor as the ball is inbounded. The ball is thrown right in to Wallace, who capitalizes with an easy deuce. Titans drive in, look for a three, pump faked, right out for another one, and it's short. Eric Procyse has been playing amazing for the Titans tonight with 3 threes.
Yeah,
Coleman dominates in the paint and slams it home. As the Trinity sideline goes wild.
Yeah, back on Procyse has been playing really well on the defensive end as well. A lot of steals, a lot of forced turnovers.
Another turnover stolen by Coleman, who looks up. And it's in. The Titans lead continues to grow, now up by 19. Henderson swings it to Williamson, who then finds Green underneath, who puts it up, and it's no good. Williamson with 2 offensive boards, but then is rejected by Henry Coleman. Andre Green with the steal.
Yeah, good hustle there.
Henderson in the corner, spots up for 3, it's no good, followed by Williamson, who puts it up, no good. Followed his own shot again, and it's in.
The Saints have been on the offensive glass a lot here this quarter. Haven't been able to shoot the ball as well, but
still looking for Andre Green's first points of his promised 50 for the night.
I still think he could get it done with 10 minutes left.
I mean, Kobe Bryant scored 55 and a half as the Titans knock in a dirty jump shot and stare down Andre Green.
Big timeout for the Titans.
We'll be back after another short break. Saints will inbound the ball. You see Arnold Henderson take it up the court. William, what's going on here? We were doing well as Green spots up for 3 and misses, followed by Jimerson, and then turns it over yet again as there's a fight on the floor. But William, we've really been struggling this half. Thought things would maybe go our way, grab a little bit of momentum as they were in the second quarter. However, things have not gone our way whatsoever. What do you think the keys are now that we need to start doing? What's been happening? Walk me through it.
I think it starts on the defensive end. I mean, Trinity just shooting the lights out. Of course, this quarter especially had those 4 threes actually at the beginning of the quarter, which gave them just a lot of momentum overall and sort of changed the momentum swing, but it's travel there. It's Saints ball. I think it starts on the defensive end for sure. I mean, Saints haven't gotten good looks this half overall on the offensive end, so I mean, I think if they can get more looks and just play some better defense, I think they can crawl back into this game just like they did in the first half.
I don't know, William. They were facing a 12-point deficit. Now it's a 19-point deficit. As Henderson drives, finds Green, who looks to get the shot up, but it's deflected. Coleman slams it down. Uncontested, drive to the lane, the freight train, and a blocking foul is called on the Titans.
Yeah, I mean, that for the Saints just once they saw Coleman with the head full of steam running down the floor, no one wanted to step in his way. Got an easy dunk.
And he'll check out of the game as Smith replaces him. Part of that strong backcourt duo. Gabe takes it out and steps on the baseline. Turnover Saints. Turnovers have infected this team tonight. It's been brutal, and it's been the downfall of this team. Turnovers and bad defense, I'd say, William.
Yeah, I mean, first half, Saints actually played pretty good defense. They just couldn't get anything going offensively in the second quarter. But, I mean, this half, just the defense has just not been there. As you said, Joe, Trinity up 19 points.
Kavanis slips, which is called timeout, but they're out of timeouts. That's going to be a technical foul. And the Titan looks to clean the floor. Good Samaritan.
Yeah, if you're Kovanis there, not much he could do. Got trapped on the baseline with the ball. And was in a scramble for it, called a timeout. Wasn't aware that the Saints had already used the timeouts for the half. And
whenever you see that call, you got to think of Chris Webber.
Yeah,
Michigan Fab 4.
Fab 5.
Fab 5. So close. We'll now see the Titans dribbled up, which get into their offense as an elbow jumper is no good. Kavanis takes it up the court. In the game now, we see 3 freshmen from the Saints. 3 of their 4, as we mentioned earlier, with the 4th injured out for the season. Kavanis struggles to get rid of it, finds Hendrick underneath, and he gets fouled right before the half. He'll go up for 2. Right before the end of the third, my apologies. Teams will walk to their respective benches. Hendrick's first one rolls out.
It looks like Saints had some signs early on in the season. I mean, they still have signs they can be a great team. Just overall carelessness, I think, going into January and February ball, including the Prep League playoffs.
And as Hendrick knocks down that second free throw, the Saints face a 22-point deficit going into the fourth quarter. We'll see if the Saints can come back after this short break. Welcome back. We see Wallace at the top of the key, swinging around to Kavanis, who runs the pick and roll with Hendrick, who goes up and in. 2 points for the Saints. Titans look to get it down low. Go up, air ball. Great defense from the Saints, but the Titans get the offensive board, shoot a three. It's no good.
Be over the back call on Henry Coleman.
Great positioning by Riley Wood,
Yep.
Jr. Here we'll see Kovanis take it up the court. Looks for his man in green. Wallace throws it around the Wood on the curl. Kovanis is fouled. This has really been a rough night for the Saints. They've struggled with a lot with consistency this season. Started off slow, were able to pick it up, and then right back to where they started. Hopefully, it'll be more of what we saw in the second quarter, in the fourth, but it's not really looking like that the way this game has gone. Kavanis swings it around, but it's tipped. Will go out of bounds. Saints will retain possession of the basketball. Wallace inbounds it to Wood, who swings it around to his point guard. Hendrick in the post, finds Andre Green, drives baseline, swings it back out, and the Saints look to set back up in their offense.
The interesting lineup the Saints have in right now is foul called there.
That was a questionable call there. It looked like he got all ball, but
Yeah.
they'll call a reach.
I think the Saints deserve it.
Kavanis will shoot at the line, and it's no good. Titans here will most likely look to slow it down a little bit. Andre Green with a good defense. Hendrick in the corner. And the Titans swing on the corner. Three, it's good. Add on 3 more points to that Titan score, bringing them up to 64 points on the night.
Another turnover there.
Basket. Sloppy play by the Saints.
Yeah, not looking too good in the final stretch.
It seems like they've given up. Lost a little bit of hope.
Yeah, and this lineup to me tells me that Coach Jones is just trying to get some younger guys with some more experience.
Wallace with great hustle there, though. Diving on the floor for that ball, even though he didn't come up with it. And with a steal, launches a full court pass for Green, but it's no good. Kavanis with a steal. Hendrick underneath. It's good.
Great touch pass from Nikos Kavanis there.
Love to see it there. Great hustle, great teamwork. Beautiful.
See, that's something you'd see in the NBA today.
Green with the defense. Test. Wallace comes down with the board. He finds Kavanis. If I'm the Saints here, I would still want to push the pace. We've had more success that way. Not a lot of opportunities coming in the half-court set as Hendrick is blocked. Coleman comes down with the board, looks up for Smith. Is fouled and one.
Looked to me like Hendrick got hit on the arm, but no call from the officials.
It's been a rough day for the Saints.
Yeah, been a rough season so far.
It has been a rough season, to say the least. knocks in the free throw. Add to the and one. Green goes up. No good. Williamson with the finish. Andre Green yet to add to his 50-point promise. Very disappointed in the performance tonight.
Yeah, I mean, hard promise to keep and maintain, but I mean,
it happens.
Yeah, it's
really
been a rough
like
day.
sometimes.
Yeah, it's just been a rough day all around. And
well, you'd like to see if the Saints can turn things around here, but it's not really looking like that. Titans with the ball up top, looking to get into their offense. Backdoor cut by Process. Shoots the mid-range, no good. Williamson comes down with the board, swings it up to Henderson. He looks to push the tempo, finds Green, spots up for three, and it's in. Nigel Green, the sharpshooter, able to put in for three. Titans continue to slow things down and wind down this clock as this game is practically over, as the Saints are in a 21-point hole. Saints really need to get back to work. It's been a rough day. They will most likely fall to 3-9 on the season and need to figure out how to turn things around. As Henry Coleman will most likely check out for the end of today, for the rest of today.
yeah, it's an excellent game from him, and tough man to stop if you're St. Chris. But next Tuesday, Saints are going to be facing Woodbury at home as Burke Smith lays it in.
Gabe Jimerson brings it down the floor. The big man with the handles almost turns it over. Williamson gains possession, finds Green, who then swings it out to Henderson, spots up. Off the iron. Out of bounds, Titans ball.
Good hustle from Trey Green, diving on the floor, but Trinity able to come up with it.
Nigel Green with a forceful block. Gabe comes up with a rebound. Arnold Henderson pushes up the floor, finds Green, spots up for three. Splash!
It's his second three of the quarter, I believe third of the night. Cutting the lead to 20.
Saints looking to make a comeback here. Think they can do it, William?
Anything's possible, though. Big three getting into the game.
Here we see the big three from St. Chris. Number 12, Jude. Sharpshooter, Reeferson. Number 20, Austin crashed the board forward. And number 24, Cameron Talibi. These are three superstars.
I mean, absolutely. Jude Reeferson shooting 100% for the field so far this season, as well as Cameron Talibi. Austin Ford struggled to put the ball in the basket, but he's really shown a bright spot on the defensive end.
I mean, these are three guys that don't get a lot of minutes, but when they do, they make the most of them. I mean, these are three guys that next year may be looking to be starters, possibly even captains. I mean, on JV last year, they had a serious impact. And
I believe it was an undefeated season.
yes,
And you were on that team, Joe Brennan.
I was. I was a proud partner of that team. We had a great season, and I mean, those 3 guys were key leaders in that locker room. And I mean, they're just great guys. They're the epitome of a student athlete.
Especially at St. Christopher's as officials meeting at.
I think that there's confusion because the Saints weren't going to check in their 3 All-Stars. And it's like a little bit unfair.
Yeah, but technical free throw shot.
Missed. He'll go up for another one. Who are you most excited to see out of these 3 guys?
I mean, with 1:46 left, I'm interested to see what they can do on the court. I think Jude Reeferson could have a big impact, as well as Cameron Talebi on the boards.
I mean, Reggie Miller scored 8 points in like 6 seconds. I think Jude could do that.
Of course, Tracy McGrady, 13 and about 26 seconds.
That's more Cameron style.
Yeah, of course.
We see Cameron with a nice contest. I don't know how he got that one over him.
Yeah, just got to play tighter there. Looked like Cameron Talebi was up there on him, but.
Talebi in the post, looks underneath for Reeferson, finds Wood, and Riley Wood shoots it. It's good.
Good shot from Riley Wood there.
Beautiful pass from Cameron Talebi, an absolute dime, puts it right on the money. Here's Jude Reeferson with spectacular defense, shuffling his feet like he's Allen Iverson with the spectacular footwork. Now we see Nikos Kavanis up top.
1 minute remaining. See what the Saints can do.
Jude Reeferson forces his man to the right. He doesn't want the smoke. He passes it. Cameron Talebi with another beautiful contest forces the miss. Jude Reeferson with the board. Absolute monster. I thought that was Andre Drummond. I was confused. It's actually Jude. Here we see Cameron Talebi squaring up his man, passing it underneath to Austin Ford. Austin Ford, who kicks it out, and he draws the foul like he's James Harden underneath that hoop.
Austin Ford going to be going to the line, trying to get his first points of the season. I'm looking forward to this.
James Harden right there. I'm expecting him to clutch these 2 free throws and knock them down.
Yeah.
And he clanks it.
Just too far. The nerves, I think, were kicking in there.
Yeah, just so excited.
Yeah.
Now we see Jude and Riley double this player. We see then look to hold it. And he'll just dribble it out. And Cameron Talebi back on defense. Squares up his man, forces him to the left. And he doesn't want the smoke. And it's most likely that this will be the end of the game.
That's too bad. Austin Ford with an opportunity there, but going to fall short. Saints are going to fall 77.
Look at Jude Reeferson with
53.
that great defense. And that'll end the game. I mean, my biggest takeaway is Talebi had a great pass. Saints really struggled on today's game. It's been a rough start to the season. Their record falls to 3-9 with a 77-53 loss. We want to thank you for tuning in, especially through this rough season.
And that's going to be it for us. We'll be back on Tuesday night.
Thank you.